Bam. What is up, y'all? So we're going to be Cari's going to be leading us in some yoga for the first 15 minutes. And I'm going to be tagging us into a leg workout. Just kind of getting everything situated here. Diving on into the fun. So Cari, what are we going to be hitting for our yoga? And 15 minutes?
Yeah. So it's really just going to be a pretty easy, you could do this every morning or every night stretch. This is a stretch that I do pre-workout. So it's a good 10 to 15 minute, just kind of slowly hitting all the muscle groups before you get started. Yoga infused series.
Okay, boom.
Yeah.
Let's go live. Now we're just getting TikTok set up. Boom. Snowball. That's always great. All right, y'all. So we're getting set up over here. Let's make sure this angle's good. Boom. What do you think? Is that good?
Yeah.
I hope you hang with me while I'm
on the screen. Let me come up and close this window.
You do. You be here. Okay, you can do yoga with us. Styling my sweet beanie.
So yeah, we've got the living room set up for just a quick little 15-minute. All right, so let's go ahead and start in our comfortable seated position. You can use a pillow, which of course I always recommend if you have it, and if not, just nice easy pose. Close your eyes and start tuning into the breath. Start planting those sits bones into the mat or pillow and reaching the crown of your head up so you can elongate the spine and relax those shoulders back and down. Start creating a good breath rhythm and a nice posture that'll carry you through your workout. Good posture is a key to preventing injury and maintaining proper breath. Good, so we'll take an inhale, open the eyes, stretch the arms out like we're pressing away two walls. Retain the breath, flex the palms up and down. And exhale, prayer. Good, inhale, reach out again. Retain the breath, flex. And exhale, prayer. Interlace those fingers, inhale, press the palms up. Good. Retain the breath. Drape the arms over the head and to the left. Pressing the chest out to the right. Hold it here as you exhale. She's biting on my knee.
I love it so much.
Inhale, reach it up.
She's biting my thigh.
Retain the breath. Drape the arms over the head and to the right. Pressing out to the left. And hold it here as you exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, reach it up last time as high as you can. Retain the breath, exhale, bring the hands behind the head and start to kind of roll the shoulders out. You want to make sure you're keeping the elbows apart, lifting the chest up, breathing deeply, and you can alternate the direction as well. We have little bite marks all over our clothes. And bring your hands down.
Were you biting?
You can place your left hand on your chest, right hand on your belly with your index right over your navel. Sitting up nice and tall, planting those sits bones, reaching the crown of the head up. I want you to pull the belly button back towards the spine as you exhale. Yeah, she's very energized and animated right now.
Need some yoga over.
Inhale, press the belly forward, filling it up with air. Exhale, pull the belly back. And inhale, press it forward. Beautiful. Exhale, belly goes back, nice and gentle. 3, 4. Inhale, belly pushes forward. Let's do one more. Exhale, belly back. And inhale forward. Beautiful. Now we're going to shake it all out. And normally I come up to standing for this next part. But we're going to start here seated just because I don't have a very good angle, and it will hit the same muscles. So you're going to inhale.
This is an important question, by the way. So can pregnant women do these things?
Yes.
And also, yeah, thank you. Like and subscribe for sure.
Yes, pregnant women can definitely do these things. I literally taught the same versions of this series all through both pregnancies of mine, and it's very good for pregnant women. Any of the things that we're going to do that need adjustments, I can give adjustments for pregnant, but in this series, you won't need any. It's just a 15-minute quick one. So inhale, sit up nice and tall, bring the ankles together, legs extended out, toes pulling in towards the chest. As you exhale, slowly bend forward. So if you are super pregnant, like in your 3rd trimester, obviously this is going to look more like this because you're going to need space for the belly, but it hits similar muscle groups and there's no problem making that adjustment. Inhale, slowly come back up, keeping the toes pulled in, upper body is relaxed. Exhale, slowly bend forward towards those toes. Doesn't really matter how far you go, just keep the toes pulled in and the upper body relaxed. We're working with the breath here. Inhale, slowly up. And exhale down. Good. And last time, we're going to inhale about halfway up. And this time, as you exhale, come down as far as you comfortably can, but tuck your chin into your chest and hold in this down position, just focusing on the breath and consciously relaxing the upper body. So the toes stay pulled in. We have the hamstrings, kind of nice little stretch on those. And we're really focusing on inhaling in the belly, pressing our belly out against our thighs, and exhaling, pulling that belly button back towards the spine and allowing the upper body to sink a little deeper into relaxation.
Bear, can you read the comments for us? All right, guys, we're going to check those comments too. I see you guys commenting. We'll circle back. Sorry to interrupt, Cari.
That's right. We're just breathing. Good. With the next inhale, we'll slowly come up. We're going to do the same thing on either side. So you're going to first tuck your left foot into your right knee or thigh, bringing your toes into your chest. Exhale, slowly come down towards that extended leg. So we're kind of working on a diagonal, getting a little bit more side stretch in the lower back here. With the inhale, slowly come back up. What was that piece of tape? Babies are so good at finding all the little things. Exhale, slowly down.
Like what? Can this choke me?
Yeah.
Let me try.
Just finding anything you have on the floor that you don't know about. Inhale, slowly come back up. Good. Exhaling down. Inhale, halfway up. Oh my gosh, don't eat my toes.
I will, though.
And exhale all the way down. Tuck your chin to your chest here. Hold in the down position. Watch out for your baby if you have one. Keeping those toes pulled in again, really focusing on the breath. And relaxing the upper body, sinking deeper with your exhales, swelling your belly out with your inhales. Good. Inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, trade those legs out.
I think I'm going to swap an inverse with you. So
Right.
I can read the comments.
Right foot comes in. Exhale, slowly down towards that extended left leg, keeping the toes pulled in. Upper body is nice and relaxed. Doesn't really matter how far you go.
All right, so my
Inhale, slowly come up.
pregnant wife just bought a yoga mat, nice, and she's going to start yoga.
Exhale down.
25 weeks along. Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's a good time. Nice second trimester time. Inhale slowly up. Belly's big enough to where you're probably going to have to make adjustments for any positions that have your legs together or where your belly's on the mat. Exhale down, but it's totally doable. Inhale up halfway. And exhale all the way down. Tuck the chin to the chest, hold in this down position. With these side stretches for the lower back, you could still totally do it while you're pregnant because there's room for the belly here. It's just the one where the legs are together. You can turn it off if you want with the blue button. Just turn it all the way to the other side. Yeah, all the way. Breathing deeper here.
Wait, would you do a pregnant yoga series to help along?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got lots of good pregnant stuff. Been pregnant, taught pregnancy classes. Inhale, slowly come back up. So again, we're just doing a quick 15-minute session. So you're going to come to your comfortable seated position here, we're just going to work on the shoulders and back. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Good. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Now we're just going to reverse real quick. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Good. Beautiful. Shake it out a little bit if you feel any tension in the upper back, lower back, shoulders, or neck. Now we're going to do side body stretches. Bring the right hand down. Inhale. Exhale. Reach that left arm up and over. Keep both sits bones planted on the mat and really pull those fingers towards that extended wall. And we're going to inhale, bring it down. Exhale, up and over. Really pulling those fingers, keeping those sits bones planted. Good. Inhale, right arm down. Exhale, left arm comes up and over. Just one more of these. Inhale, opposite arm down. Exhale, up and over.
Nope. Whole bear down.
Various sound
No.
effects.
Thank you for listening.
Inhale, bring it down.
That's
Now
all.
we're going to do a couple rotations. This is just a light spinal twist to get yourself warmed up. I know he's going to do a leg series, but your back is really important to stretch out and strengthen with anything that you're doing with legs. Once you get to your left side, on the next time, you're going to do a little hold. Sitting up nice and tall, using your head and your neck as the start of the twist. Breathing deeply. Good. Inhale, reaching over opposite side, doing a little right side twist. Don't forget about your head and your neck. Breathe. Good. Inhale, unwind, and we're just going to flip over onto all fours. About like 5 more minutes. Make sure your hips are right over your knees, shoulders are right over your wrists. And yeah, for those of you that may be pregnant or with your pregnant wife, anything that you're doing with the belly down, all you have to do is the same move with the knees up like this. So anything that anyone's doing with the belly on the floor, this gives space for the belly. You can do a lot of the same positions. You can do like cobra type stuff, anything on your knees. That's a really good modification that'll help you with plenty of positions. So we're just going to do some cat-cows. Inhale, chest goes down, head goes up. Exhale, press the chest up, allow the head to fall forward. Good. Inhale, chest down, head up. Exhale into cat, chest goes up, head falls down. Good. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Come back to neutral spine. We're just going to do a couple little leg stretches for working legs today. So bring your left leg forward, keep your right leg back. And you're going to take your right hand and grab for your right ankle. This is a really deep stretch. You don't have to go all the way here. So you can't really see from the side, but I'm grabbing my foot in the back. You don't have to go all the way. You can lift your leg up.
My hamstring's I can tell my hamstring will cramp.
Yeah.
Just doing that. So
Okay.
I was thinking maybe grabbing my clothes.
Yeah, you
What's
could-
like the next? We're getting a strap.
Yeah, you can also go down to pigeon pose for this, and that'll be a gentler stretch. So with pigeon pose, watch out, Hope here. You're going to be on the mat. You're just going to be on the mat.
Yeah. That.
Yeah, so you can keep that right leg extended back.
Over here.
And also, if you're starting in pigeon and you're really working your way up towards more supple hamstrings and thighs, eventually you can also in pigeon reach for that back leg, but you do want to have a nice strong lower back for this position. It is a little bit rougher on the lower back. Good balance, and you can reach both arms back as well if you get if you get a nice deep stretch. You can do one arm, you can do both arms. Good. Yeah. So we'll modify this down to pigeon. I like no, she's okay. We're just gonna switch legs. So make sure you guys are breathing deep. Yeah, grab her now. She's got my hair. Make sure you guys are breathing deep in these stretches. These are really deep stretches. So if you're in the up pose that we started with, and you're able to do this stretch for the quads and hamstrings, that's great. It also helps work a little bit of core and balance. So we'll go back to pigeon for Mike. We're going to bring that left leg back, right leg comes
even
forward.
do like you do one version, I do the other. That's always sometimes helpful. I wonder if you guys watching like that, where Cari just does the more advanced one, I do the more maybe regressed version, which is what I'm
Yeah, we could definitely do that. So if you're in pigeon pose too, and your upper back or lower back feels tight, I recommend starting kind of on your elbows and just breathing. And then if your lower back loosens up, you can come up to your hands. Again, you can always reach back for that extended leg to get more of the quad stretch and the hamstring stretch in there. And if you want to work a little bit on your balance, you can reach both arms back, or you can reach the opposite arm back and get a little twist in there. There's lots of variations from this pose that'll really be helpful for stretching out those legs before you work them out. Yeah, good. Beautiful already. Yeah.
Like I can tell my hamstrings are just tight. My quads aren't fully activated and primed.
Yeah, normally I like a little bit of more isometric heating before I'm doing these deep stretches, but with only 15 minutes, especially if you're working legs, these are really good.
And this is just a predisposition for my,
yes.
I have like overactive hamstrings and my quads don't fire and I was literally just sitting for like 3 hours.
So we're going to come up into plank and then just come down to our nice wide knee stance and work a little bit into hips. Nothing crazy. We're going to inhale coming forward, really bringing those hips down, and exhale pushing back towards child's pose. Nice wide knees. You can bring your big toes to touch in the back if you like. It doesn't really matter. Inhale forward. What we're really trying to do is just gently open the hips so we have nice supple. Oh my God, I'm blanking out the words. My mom brain is kicking in. Inhale, come forward. Exhale back. What are these right here?
Right? Your abductors?
No. Inhale forward. It's not the word I'm thinking of. I
Hip
really
flexors?
Yes, hip flexors. Exhale back. Good. Now we're going to sit in the back position. Really press all the way back if you can. Try to bring your forehead to the mat. Nice deep stretch. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Perfect. Breathe.
Hey, good job. You're fine. You're fine.
Breathe.
You're trying.
That's where child pose starts, is in that position. That's good. Yeah, there you go. That's kind of what I was thinking. Beautiful.
That's it. That's it.
All right, inhale, come on up. And then you can come right into our easy pose. We're just going to close out here. It's been 15 or so minutes, but that'll get you a nice warm up. Yeah, warm up for your legs and quads. Sometimes I like to do, when I come out of pigeon pose, I like to do some, I'll come out of pigeon pose and come into plank and just kind of do forward and back in plank just to stretch my calves a little bit. If you're consciously working your calves, this is a nice little stretch where you can strengthen core and get a little isometric work in at the same time. So for those of you that can't see on camera, I got my feet back here. Okay. I'm in plank position up on my hands. My shoulders are right over my wrists. And I'm just using my toes to shift myself forward and back. And on the back, I'm doing a little bit of a hold and an exhale so that I'm getting that calf stretch in. And if this feels overwhelming or your core needs a break, you can always switch right into down dog from here as well and still get that calf stretch, kind of walking out the dog. And it's an easy transition from here to wide leg child's pose for hips. So I kind of play around with that from pigeon to plank to down dog to child's pose to work. Yeah, I was just kind of showing them like some calf stretching. And if you're feeling tight in any one of those positions, you can move into another position and get a little bit of relief. So yeah, then I just always like to kind of close out with a big inhale up, exhale down. And I never start a workout without kind of releasing my neck as well. It seems like something that's kind of inconsequential, but I find that especially if I'm doing squats or things where I'm holding a bar behind my head, I'll hold a lot of tension in my neck. So I kind of try to like roll it out and breathe a little bit before I get into any of that kind of stuff. All right, y'all, workout with Michael now. Time to get those legs moving. I'm going to start making lunch because this baby is about cooked and ready for her nap. And I'm going to run out of time to make lunch and eat. Huh. Bam, boom, bam. So bye, y'all. Have fun. Woo. What you doing? What you doing, girl? She was nomming on my mat, too. Trying to eat the yoga mat.
All right, so let's roll up our mats, and now let's get into our lower body workout. So I'm going to change the angle here, y'all. Cari, thanks for tagging in on yoga. If you guys are enjoying that, let us know. Like, for example, pregnant wife or anyone that has any particular requests on routines, that would be helpful. Like, I know for a lot of like my jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai, my martial arts peeps, lower back, knees, hips, those tend to be some like pain points. Or those that are just like working professionals, upper back, lower back, middle back,
Need more
posterior
mobility.
side. Yeah, shoulders even. That can all be like target areas, I imagine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Or old injuries too. A lot of people have injuries in the
going to see a PT actually next week. Shout out to Dr. Andy.
Nice.
So combined that with what Cari and I are going to work on, it's going to be a helpful time. Okay, so with that being said, one of the things that I like to do is Hope Air knows. She already knows what's coming. I personally like to do a little bit of a martial arts integration to my warm up. So while we're already pretty much warm, like you can literally just take the workout from Cari, go right into our lower body. I'm just going to add 2 minutes of jiu-jitsu, like I call a solo jiu-jitsu warm-up, and then 3 minutes of a Muay Thai warm-up. What I like to do is, if you have a ball at home, this is great, especially for yoga, but also for martial arts. We're literally just going to work balancing on the ball, whether it's from all fours, or what I personally like to do is posture up to just being on my knees. And then I find it helpful to roll forwards, roll back. And I think about flaring my toes to help catch me on the ball, which will become helpful in different like passing drills or just different applications for jiu-jitsu control.
Get out.
But even also just like kind of shifting our weight. And you don't even have to be into like wrestling or jiu-jitsu. Oh my, you're very handsome. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cari, they're saying you're very handsome. Yeah, no, I'm joking. But the point is being able to have a little bit of this balance, coordination, neurofeedback becomes helpful. Not just, I'm assuming me because they're saying handsome. I'm just saying it sarcastically.
Oh.
Because usually Cari gets all the love for the beauty side, which is well deserved.
Where do you see that?
Wow. No, see how there's 3 different feeds?
Oh, you're a very handsome stud.
Yeah.
Sup. Nice. Good job.
Point is, I was trying to make a joke of it for you, Cari, and you just came. I was like, what? Huh? What are they saying? I love Cari. I love how you're like, should be of the age with more technological awareness, but because you've just been so like into other things, you're like, I don't even know.
Yoga, meditation,
yeah, more spiritual growth and awareness and disconnection, which is extremely valuable, obviously. Yeah. All right, so we got about 15 more seconds here. And again, I like to just like kind of shift my weight, getting in that balance, feedback, coordination. It's not only great from a cognitive side, priming the brain, but also for lower body. I'm getting a nice kind of even burn on my adductors, the inner thighs, just like clamping onto the ball. And we're going to pop off for 2 minutes. Now, the other piece I like to add on is for my Muay Thai warm-up. Oh, she's married. Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do is, because we're doing lower body, I like to match my Muay Thai and my martial arts warm-ups based to the workout for the day. We're going to be doing a lower body workout, so I'm going to do a lower body kind of Muay Thai drill. So we're going to find a flat object right here. I'm going to kind of use our changing table, and I'm just going to put my heel on the table. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a kick drill for more time. So I'm going to turn my hip over, and on my bottom leg, I'm going to get onto the ball of my foot. So I'm basically turning my hip over and getting on the ball of my foot. So this is going to really mimic strong technique from a Muay Thai drill perspective. I'm just putting my arm out for framing. I'm going to do 10 on each side. 5, 6, 7. And then as you get more and more range of motion, 8, you can go higher and higher with the platform or what you're using. And what I even find helpful, what I would do in class is when I would be running a Muay Thai class, I would have people put their foot on their partner's shoulder. So you'd start like kind of on your knees. You'd have your partner's leg on your shoulder. And then as they get more and more range of motion, you can kind of stand up. So eventually you're basically placing your foot at shoulder and head height so that you're really working in an active range of motion for a head kick. But even starting here becomes helpful to warm up. And it's also reinforcing good technique. as I lose my balance here, which is, again, the other thing I will say is slow down, don't rush. Be able to control, which is tricky because I'm on like a very small ledge. So I don't have as much like frame on, which is good test for balance. So we're getting 10 and 10. Another thing I like to do here is being able to do a little bit of a check return drill. So you can check. You can go bounce from there. So what I mean by that bounce is bounce, kick, come back, check. This is another fun drill. I'm going to be mindful of the space to not bounce too hard because there's a bunch of like bookcases and things. Once we get our shed delivered, which I was literally just talking to Cari about, I'm a little frustrated we don't have the shed in yet. I'll have a better filming space for that. So, all right. That being said, that was enough time. Now we're going to go into our actual workout. So the first thing we're going to do is I actually have to pull up my workout here. And this workout's actually being pulled from the Lifestyle of Fitness app. If you guys haven't already, you can actually get free access to our Lifestyle of Fitness app wherever you're watching this. We're going to have a link to our program on our link tree, most likely, and there will be a free band workout and or a free ADHD oriented workout. So you guys can take advantage of that, check out the app, and get started and follow along at home with us. Whether you want to do body weight programs, whether you want to do band workout programs, 100-day programs, we have a variety of options. The first thing we're going to do is, we got a squat with a lunge. So we're going to do, it's calling for a barbell squat, but I'm going to be doing a variation of a barbell squat, which is I'm going to be doing a Zercher squat, and I'm going to be comboing the Zercher squat with a reverse lunge. Now, again, this is everything I'm going to do. I'm going to modify with just using bands. Now, you don't even have to use the bar that I'm going to use. You could technically just do the bands. So I'll do one round with just the bands. Then I'm going to be using the bar and playing with different variations. Because the point I want to invite, my goal for 2026 is showing you guys what's possible as far as actual strength gain, body composition change, and growth and performance with just having bands. Like a set of bands that we have, our LOF band set. And the reason, even if you're watching on Amazon, our band set is the price that it is. It's probably the most expensive band set on the internet because you don't just get the bands, which are over 300 pounds worth of resistance. You also get a 100-day coaching program. You get a coach assigned to you. You get our app. You get a meal plan. You get a whole entire training program for 100 days. So what I'm doing is I'm anchoring down the bands with my feet. And then we have two options. You can either just from a single strap, I can underhook it, Zercher style, or what I like to do is I pull the slack out. So I kind of have two bands here with a little bit more resistance. And one is going to go on each of my elbows. So I'm going to get one on one elbow, one on the other. So I'm getting even more resistance. Kind of hearing my kind of tone of my voice, it's a little bit more resistance. So we're going to have nice, slow control on the way down and then drive up. Then we're going 12 to 15 up these. And 15. So now we're going to, again, superset that with a reverse lunge. But I'm already getting warm, so we are going to throw the hoodie off. I'm going to throw pants off. Now I got shorts. I didn't throw on a t-shirt, so we're just going to have sweats and our Brutal Buddha shorts. So I'm going to swap out for our red band set. Now here's the cool thing for this. Again, we can anchor it. Now, it also comes with a door anchor. I could be anchoring this to the door, but the angle and the positioning I set up in here, I want to show you it's possible even if you don't want to use a door frame. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to step on the bands with my right foot, anchoring it, stepping on the ground. I'm holding tension, and I'm just going to a reverse lunge. So I'm going to kind of, again, show you guys from a postured position standpoint. Kick back, lunge, then as I drive up, the tension kicks back in. We can adjust how much resistance we want here like going with a heavier band or pairing bands together. Okay, we're going 8 to 12 on this one. So even there, I lost my balance. Looks, I'm rushing through. So I get to slow down a little. Boom. So now we're going to just switch those sides. So I'm going to do the same thing. Opposite leg. Again, we're anchoring it down. So I got tension on both hands. Now I'm doing the same thing on the opposite leg. Again, I'm just kind of like finding my resistance and my body positioning. And 12. So we got our first round done. We're going to take a minute to rest. And again, now we're going to superset this. So we're kind of working to be a little bit more time efficient. Working in supersets becomes helpful. So I'm going to actually set my timer here. We're going to go with a 1 minute timer so you guys can kind of see. I'll even screen share here. So you can see we got our rest period. Boom, 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 and bam. And just so you guys can also kind of see my workout program, here's what we're going for today. We did a variation of, we didn't do the foam rolling warm-up because we did yoga and some other stuff. Going through our back squat, reverse lunge. Oh, it's actually 12 to 15 each, like not 8 to 12. Okay. So kind of get to tweak that, and then we'll do some step-ups. Leg extensions. Again, I'm modifying this for a home banded workout, but that's more or less the program and the game plan here. So we got, is that another 15 seconds? We're gonna get set up for round number 2. All right, so I'll pull that out. It's pretty much round 2 time. Sip of my protein and coffee combo. For those of you that know me, know I pretty much do intermittent fasting from 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night to usually 12 o'clock the next day. So it's at 4. It's roughly about a 16-hour. So I like to do that 16-8, more or less. It sometimes varies. But you don't have to do that. I'm just saying I like to. The only thing that I do to quote unquote break the fast is I put protein shakes in my coffee so I can keep my protein intake up so it doesn't negatively impact my muscle mass or lean body mass. So another variation we can do is, again, I can just underhook without crossing the band. So I want to show you another variation here for round number 2. And the other cool thing is the way I position it. Watch how I position. I can drive my legs out into the band. So this is a helpful cue for those that may be finding themselves having their legs buckle when they squat. This is a nice tactile cue to make sure you're abducting and externally rotating for the hips. And if you're not certain on depth, what I always find helpful is having a platform to go to just kind of butt check. I know for my elbows and my depth, when I elbows touch my thighs, I'm pretty much breaking parallel. So that's my cue. Again, we're going to 15 on these. And bam. All right, so that's round 2 on our Zercher squat variation. Now, again, we're going to go to our reverse lunge. This one I'm going up to 15 because it calls 12 to 15. We're going to go for the full 15. Again, like I was mentioning in the first round, And this one's helpful to slow down so that I find myself, especially on lunges and single leg movements, I tend to want to go fast, but it destroys my balance, or can really hinder my balance. So really making sure we have a nice posture, proper cueing on our scapula, taking my time here on my step back, finding my step, slowly lowering, driving up, nice slow control. Switch over just a little bit. Hope, are you gonna come hang out? Am I too loud? And again, the beautiful thing about doing any kind of like single leg variation is we get to really highlight any imbalances that we can have left to right, as well as just work our core and our torso. Upper body, you work your core and your torso, or your core and your torso as well. But lower body, especially on these single leg movements, because the bands are pulling me side to side as I'm losing my foundation, becomes a really helpful cue and core engager. Oh, there she is. Slowly. What I'll do on the next round, y'all, is I'll move it closer to my hips and my feet so you can see more of what my lower body's doing. And then on the last round, I'll do more of my upper body so you can see more what's happening with the upper body. One more time. Bam, see, even there, I'm like slightly tilting my left because I'm losing the balance and rushing. I find that's the tricky part when I'm like walking through these coaching demos, being very intentional with slowing down and being precise with our technique. All right, we got 1 minute on the clock. Round two's down. We're going to go for 2 more rounds here. So this one, again, I'm going to bring it down closer to the lower body and feet so you guys can kind of see what's happening on the lower body, what from my hips to my feet are doing for both of the next 2 movements. And then one of the things I love about this like Amazfit watch that I'm using, or any kind of smartwatch, or anything that's tracking from heart rate, you can check your recovery and just your overall flow. And again, these aren't perfectly accurate, but I like using it because the old expression that comes to mind is if you can measure it, you can manage it. So I'm very mindful of measuring it to manage my intensity and my progress. All right, so that should be pretty much right at about a minute. Boys and girls, what's up, Rob? Hello, hello. Rob, you missed Cari doing her yoga before. Cari, you want to hear something fascinating about Rob, by the way? Rob was like a yoga junkie for a period of time. I don't know, Rob. I don't know if that's a fair way to assess it, but I remember when you were getting after it with the yoga. Live from somewhere in one of the Carolinas, Tuesday afternoon with Mike. And you missed her with Cari before, too. Hey, Rob, is our broadcaster going to make an appearance? Also, Deanne, thank you for the follow. All right, so let's get in. Now we're focusing on what my hips to my feet are doing here. And I'm even going to change the angle a little bit so you guys can see from a depth and range of motion. I'm going to do 2 different positions here. So again, I'm going to show you how I like to set it up. I pull the slack out, and then I underhook on each side. So we're going to get a nice little Zercher squat variation. So again, I'm getting it at my elbows. Now we're going to get it from that side profile, that side angle, so you can see the depth here. Again, one of the things I work on is I have a slight forward lean, so being able to not only hit the depth, right, but keeping my posture throughout. Who's calling me? Rob, is that you? Boom, and then we got 15. Now we're gonna superset that with our reverse lunge. Let's see what Rob's got here. I don't know yet. Maybe since I'm at work, guess you could say I was made for this. No big deal, you know. So now again, we're getting a reverse lunge set out with the band anchor. So I'm anchoring it with my lead foot, stepping back, and then it's my fave. Can you show our shoulder cuff, please? That's the, you got to send me an extra Venmo coffee with Mike, right, Rob? Winky face. So again, band, stepping back with that kickstand, nice control, getting slack in the bands, and then driving up. All right, so now we're gonna switch to the sides. What you got for me here, bro? What you got? Do you hear me? Right now, I'm coming. All right, we're heading up to Manhattan, Rob. Through the snow and all. How's the snow treating you, by the way? Oh, you're talking about drive up through the legs. Never mind. I get it now. Hey, Rob, remember that time you smacked me in the face when we were working out in my garage? Fun fact, everyone. My buddy Rob smacked me in the face while I was doing a bicep curl because he wanted to get me pumped. He knows. That just pisses me off. But I guess that makes sense. Pissing him off, getting you pumped for your next rep. Oh yeah, we got 5 more. Now notice what we can do here too. I don't have to fully lock out. I keep a little bend in my legs, keep more tension in my quad. That really helps drive the burn. Oh man. And rest. All right. So let's take a minute here. I'm going for one more round. Yeah, I do. Do you remember the time you're playing kick you as hard as I can in your stomach, you psycho? I do remember that, Rob. That's so good. All right, so we got 1 minute rest. Do a little screen share so you guys can see our rest period here. We got 1 more round. So for the last round, again, what I'm going to focus on is getting more of our upper body and getting from more of the hips up to my shoulders so you guys can kind of see what's happening for the upper body on the last round. Makes me more. That's how we all strive to be in life. Yep. There's a control movement. Yeah, just happy thoughts. Slowing our breathing down. Right, Rob? Flowers, a nice. Speaking of a nice cup of coffee, cheers. And this is actually shout out to Amazon. They sponsored Amazon mug. When I say sponsored, I should say gifted. They didn't actually pay me to say anything particular. They just gave it to me for free and said, hey, let us know what you think. Feeling of sweet, sweet revenge. Exactly. Also, Rob, how does it feel to just be a bougie, fancy Manhattanite and running the East Village nowadays? Tell us more. Let's do a little documentary on the life of Rob right now in this 1 minute, which time's already up. This video is brought to you by Amazon. Pretty much. Or specifically brands on Amazon. Right? All right, let's get round number 3. So now again, we're going to go from the upper body kind of perspective, from the hips up to my shoulders. We're going to pay attention to what's going down. Yeah, it feels good. Feels like success. What does it feel like, bro? So again, I'm going back to a kind of, again, Zercher positions. Don't mind this like X pattern on my, trying to like not get too crushed on my crotch, but again, we'll see what we can do. So notice again, driving up. I'll do it from this angle. Let's get this angle. That'll be better, right? So you can kind of see what's happening. Even what I get to work on is putting a little bit more posture. Cari, can you read the chat for me? Well, then work on your phone. What's Rob saying?
He said, I don't know, you know, when you just walk around and see he general public and go, wow, I'm just so much better than everyone else. It feels like that. It feels great, he said.
I asked him how living in Manhattan was.
He said,
the king of the village.
Yeah, it feels great.
Good for you, Rob. Okay, so now again, we got one more round of our reverse lunge. Hope Bear, you watching me work out? So again, we're gonna get more of the upper body focus now. Watch me. So watch again, just how I'm positioning my upper body. A big thing for me is because I have a slight forward lean in my squats. Rob says, hey, by the way, I get to really be mindful of this like forward lean and being a little bit more upright. Sometimes we do want a forward lean, like leaning on our front leg during split squat variations, but because this is more a lunge, you go a little bit more upright, get a little bit more glute and hamstring focus. Cari, did I ever tell you about the time Rob smacked me in the face when we were working out? I was doing like a bicep curl with the bar, and he like smacked me to like motivate me. But as you know,
yeah, true.
I really don't enjoy being smacked.
Yeah. Do you reflexively touch it back?
No, I had my hands full.
Oh.
So like it was a very vulnerable place to have the barbell in my hands. But he saw, I'm sure Rob, you could tell Cari, I was not a happy camper. Now I'm getting distracted. Lose my balance. Stay focused. All right, let's switch those sides, y'all. Let's see, what's Rob got for us? Cari's lived here. She knows what's up. Yeah, Cari, this man is very upset about this. I'm shocked you remember. I actually forgot. I will never forget, Rob. One day, Rob. One day. You know what? It's actually valid. You know what I was telling Cari the other day? You remember when we were at like a baseball tournament for our kids, or for our brothers, and you were walking next to Lemo's sister? I want to say it's Michelle Lemo. I forget her name. And you were walking. I came running down this hill and just like checked you into a fence. You remember that? The man asked me to kick him in the stomach as he was planking, Cari. So I was planking with him, like, Rock, kick me as hard as you can in the stomach. Do it. I mean, he did. And I asked him to, so that's okay. He thinks I'm a psychopath. Now again, notice I'm not fully locking out, keeping all the tension in my quad. So with my glute, my hands. Yeah, that one's a little rough. Michael Colo, you're my hero. Yeah, do you remember that? So I was trying to explain to Cari how crazy I am and like why I did that. I wonder if I ever explained to you. Got to give me a ring after you end. All right. Yeah, I have like back-to-back calls, but I'll give you a buzz later. Did I ever explain to you why I did that, Rob? There's a very ego-driven reason. Basically, I was like jealous that she was giving you attention. And I was like, I'm just some fat slob that no one's going to like. And you were just like some athletic, lean, good-looking dude. I was like, womp, womp. But I think Rob probably has to bounce out. All right. So with that being said, y'all, we got another about 30 seconds. That was round 4. Now we're going to go into a variation of a step up. Which is stop doing a step up because we're inside. We're going to do a bridge, a glute bridge variation. I'm going to show you guys 2 variations. One I'm going to do with the ball. Second, I'm going to do without the ball, without any equipment, assuming you guys don't have any of this at home. And we're going to be able to hit our hamstrings and our glutes a little bit more and focus on the back side of our legs now since we were focusing on the front side. Yeah, it looks like Rob had to bounce out. I'm going to have to call him later and explain to him. All right, that's our minute. So we're going to do, again, 3 rounds of this. Again, what I'm doing here is we're putting our feet. Now, we could do this without the ball. I'm going to show it to you guys from multiple angles so you can kind of see what's happening. So on the vertical side, you're not going to see what's going on with my lower body. Let's see if I can actually position it here. So that's going to be too tough. Let's see if maybe I can do it this way. Let's see if this way is going to work. This way I think will work. So you guys will be able to see what's happening with my lower body. So what we're basically doing is I'm going to extend my legs, lifting my hips, and then I'm curling my legs in. So we're getting both glutes here and hamstrings. So bridge or lift and then curl. On 2, we're going 12. 3. Now I can also do a single leg version of this, but for now we're just doing both legs together. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 2 more. 11 and 12. So I'm kind of modifying this workout to be a little bit more time efficient, as well as still hit the body parts that we wanted it to. So originally calls for a step up and a single leg extension. So we're trying to hit a little bit more of the quads and hip flexors and extensors, but I'm going to do that glute bridge, which is going to kind of somewhat mimic the step up for the backside, the hip glutes and the hamstrings. And then for instead of doing a single leg extension, we already kind of worked the quads. I'm going to actually swap it for a abductor adductor movement and lateral step. We'll do a lower body shot first, and I'll show it from the upper body as well. What we're basically doing is, again, with the LOF band set, you get both the long loop and short loop bands. This is the kind of short loop booty band style. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the lower part. The further away from my hips I can put them, the more of a challenge it's going to be on the hips. And all we're doing is, again, I'm laterally stepping. So I'm stepping to left, slow and control, bring it in. Stepping to the right, slow and control, bring it in. We're doing 15 reps. That was 1. I get to be mindful again of my foot position. I love doing it barefoot when possible to get more tactile sensation. Basically, essentially getting more muscles and nerves engaged in the feet. 4. We can also do this as warm-up, especially for like going heavy lift days. If you're at the gym, you're doing even heavier power strength dynamics versus volume, like today's more of a volume day. This can even be part of your warm-up to activate up those hips, abductors and adductors for your squats, deadlifts, variations. 8. And again, slow and control is the name of the game. 9. Here's 10. 10. 11. 11. We're going 15. 12. 12. 13. 13. 14. 14. We got one more each side. And 15. Now we're going to keep these bands on because for the next round, we're going to pull the ball out. We're going to get a little rest here. And we're going to go, instead of using the ball for our glute bridge and hamstrings, I'm going to basically do it with just body weight and the bands. So again, I always like to show you guys variations that you can do no matter what equipment you have or where you're at. I'm doing pretty good on time. I think I'll be able to finish this up and still get in a 10-minute like epoch, which is a fancy way of saying 10-minute worth of intervals. We go hard for 30 seconds, go light for 2 minutes, do that 4 rounds, which is 10 minutes. It's a great way to like spark the metabolism as a finisher. And again, these are the types of little like techniques we combine to just maximize workouts in time. Okay. Looks like we're pretty much right at time here. 10 seconds left. So I'll just pause that. So again, let's get this set up. So what I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to show it to you from like this same angle I was showing to you from before. So what we're going to do is I'm going to extend my legs. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to, all right, I'm going to start with my legs kind of bent here. We're going to bridge them. I'm going to walk them out on my heels, hovering my hips, then walk them back in while keeping my hips high. It's 1 rep, drop back down. So instead of using the ball, I'm just using gravity in my lower body. So hip bridge, and then just walk them out on your heels. Adding the band adds just a nice layer of resistance. But again, I don't even need to use the bands. I can drop them out. Just so you guys can see, you can take the bands out as well, and you do it just body weight. Okay, so again, hip bridge, walk those legs out, straighten them, keeping the hips off the ground, walking them. Just 3, 4. Now I'm doing big steps. Really, the small steps is ideal here. You lift them, small step, creep them out. That's what we want. Getting more reps of tension. We can even put sliders on our feet, and I could just like slide them. But it's kind of tricky with socks to do that. 7. So we're just going to walk them. 1 more time. So because I'm walking them instead of rolling them, I'm going to adjust the volume because it's already like adding up. I can feel that tension and exactly what we want out of it. So again, we're going to take a minute rest. We're going to do that for a 3rd round. Or actually, we're not going to do the minute rest. I was tempted to rest one. So I got to do our abductor walks. Then we'll do a 3rd round with this. So again, now I'll kind of bring it up just so you can kind of see what's happening more at the hips and the upper body positioning. Kind of less important, but still the component here is having good posture. Again, big step, slow and controlled. Big step, slow and controlled. That's 1. Yeah, we're going 15. Controlling the negative or the eccentric part, which is bringing the legs together. We're going to 15, y'all. 12, 13, 14. Yes. All right, now we're going to rest. Now we'll take a minute. We got 1 more round. So again, I'm going to add the ball back into the mix. If you don't have a ball, you don't have to use the ball. But I just personally like it from a stability standpoint and the challenge. But again, we went over how you can go without a ball as well. So I'm bringing it back down to the ground so you kind of see that angle and perspective. And we'll get into our 3rd and final round. Then after this movement, I want to finish it up with that 10-minute interval where I'm going to actually be doing a ropeless jump rope, which is something I got from Amazon. Sounds counterintuitive. Like what's the ropeless jump rope? Really the value is like if you don't have space or ceiling height to jump rope, or you just can't, maybe you don't have the rhythm, maybe you don't have the strength yet, you can still use this ropeless jump rope to get your coordination and your timing down. I've even had people use like towels and bands and a variety of different things. The thing about the ropeless jump rope, it still has a weight to it. So you get some resistance in your shoulders and you get some tactile feedback, which is a fancy way of saying you get the feel to get timing to your actual jumping mechanic. Okay, so timer's pretty much up. Let's go into our third and final round for those hamstrings and adductors. So I'm going to give it to you from another angle. This time we're going to come bring to the side view. If you're watching on TikTok and on YouTube, you're not going to get the best angle. If you're watching it horizontally on like Amazon, Facebook, or YouTube, you get a little bit of a better angle. So again, we're lifting those hips. I'm just curling them in, keeping my hips high. This one again, we're going for 8 to 12. 2, 3. We can make it more explosive and dynamic as well, which I like to do to kind of chain it together once you feel good with the technique. But if you're uncertain about it, hips and curl. And 12. All right, so we're going to bounce that out. And now again, we'll get our LOF band on for the last round here. Yeah, I'll give it to you guys from the lower body side. Let's see again what we got going on. So you got step. Let's switch over just a little bit. Step. 1, we're going to 15. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and boom, 15. All right, so that is it as far as the leg and lower body workout. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to reset my clock. We're going to take a minute here, and I'm just basically going to do a EPOC high intensity interval finisher. So the fancy of saying we're going to get the jump rope. I'm going to show you guys the ropeless or cordless jump rope, and we're going to do, we got a 2-minute light round followed by 30 seconds high pace. Again, this is what's cool about these. So notice how, again, it's got the handle of a jump rope. But again, it technically has a little bit of rope, but I can swing these and I can time my body and my movements to it so I can start to get the feedback and build my jump roping skills. Or if I just can't get into a place where I have high enough ceilings or not have the room, this can still provide some feedback that helps develop aerobically and also develop your coordination and all the pieces in between. So we got about 30 seconds left. And then we're going to go again, 2 minutes, low intensity, but I'm going to start with a 30-second kind of high intensity. So we're going to go high knees or double unders or just picking up the pace, try and get the heart rate as high as we can into our zone, our VO2 max zone. So for me, that's 163 beats per minute or higher. And then take 2 minutes to just kind of like let it come back down. So I'm at like 100 beats, 105 beats per minute right now, kind of like a warm-up pace. All right, ready? So now the goal is as we go, again, I'm high kneeing it, driving those hips, or driving my knees up high, getting good hip flexion. And if I don't get enough resistance, I can always add the bands. But just this, I can tell, with it hard being hard to talk. Clearly not working. We can work again to see. And you check the time right at about 30 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna take a minute to rest. And now what I like to do is kind of shadow box a little bit. Just kind of work my checks, move around a little. I got to. I'm gonna make this a little bit tighter. The only drawback for me I find with the ropeless jump rope, I can't get my heart rate as high as fast. So I got it up to like 140, but I really need to get it up to like 165 for it to be the maximum effect that I'm looking for. And that's where like a regular jump rope for me just becomes easier, but it's better than nothing. And even just working through these intervals can have a metabolic effect. Now it's bringing it back down. I'm under 130. Again, just kind of moving a little bit, giving some stimulus. And then again, the goal is to do high output for the next round. What I find helpful too is going back to our timer and our interval. So we got a minute left. I'm going to screen share this. So that's how much time we have to go between our next round. Then we'll do a 30-second interval after this. So yeah, I can tell my heart rate was actually above 140 because now it's coming down to like 140. So it was actually up to 1. It's updating it right now. Yeah, but it's probably at closer to, yeah, I thought it was like 160, but we'll check at the end of the round. That's why, again, I like having the measurable data so I know if I can push a little bit harder, if the pace I'm going at is adequate for what I want. And if you don't have a watch or measurable, the best way to tell is if you can talk, you're not going anywhere close to your max. So once I know it's hard for me to talk, that's how I know I'm getting closer to my VO2 max and my higher max intensity, like zone 5. Okay, so that should be right at about our time. We're going to reset that. We're going to go 30 seconds actually. And then we're going to get after it with our high knees. So again, trying to drive. Am I so loud? Cari's concerned I'm going to fall through the floor. What? Got 10 seconds of video. We can go double unders too. So those like pogo jumps. So apparently the floor I'm jumping on is 127 years old. So Cari's terrified. All right, so that's 2 rounds down of the high intensity part. Now we're gonna again, yeah, see that's like 151. It's coming down from like 1, yeah. So I was hitting 160s, which is where I want to be for my zone 5. Now again, we're just shadow boxing, moving around, letting my heart rate come down. That's why I like to personally just incorporate martial arts where I can. Oh, it's not spinning elbow. We could also, you could do like a grappling stance of this, you know, like reaching, down block, reshoot. You can mix in grappling. You could do this even for like jiu-jitsu solo drills, wrestling, movement. So you can mix it in how you want to again, not only move and keep it light, also pick up the intensity as well. About 1 more minute, and then we got round 3. I'm doing pretty good on time, actually. I got just enough time to be able to cool off, change, go into my next round of coaching. Did I tell you I had a dream about fighting in Thailand last night? Yeah, I did. The most important part I remember the dream was doing a Y crew. We're doing a very Y crew is the dance before the fight. We're doing a very elaborate Y crew. Like it was a very it's almost like more focused on the spirituality of it than the fight itself. Which that's the point of the Y crew is to close out the ring and utilize spirits and good juju and show respect to your coaches. All right, so let's get ready for just round 3. Yeah. All right, let's reset. Wash that out. We got 30 seconds on the clock. High knees. Let's get it, y'all. I'll go over here so maybe Cari's less concerned. More concerned. Go back over here. Everywhere's concerning to Cari. Pick that pace up. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4. That's my leg. That was this hitting that. Okay. He's like, good, hit your leg. I got 2 minutes. So we got one more round. So we're going to do one more 30-second sprint. And then we'll wrap it up. And this, again, technically we could have done yoga at the end as well. But I wanted to just use it accordingly with Hope Bear's nap. Because Hope Bear is asleep right now. Let's check the heart rate. Yeah. Slowly bringing it down. This is where I can even like take a moment, breathe. We'll go hard one more round. And for me, the key here is being very mindful of how much time we do for the intervals at the end of a workout. Because if we do this too much, if you do like steady state cardio, even high intensity cardio, movements after a hypertrophy based workout, you can take away from your actually recovery and kind of counterintuitively not maximize your strength or muscle gains. So with that being said, being very intentional with how long we do this like epoch or the themes around it. So 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe even 20 is good. I've seen people do like lower steady state cardio at the end of a workout for 30 minutes to get a little bit of a burn. That could be okay too. But one of the things that I would encourage is like hydration and maybe slammer protein shake, like high protein, just to get that in, or maybe like a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 carb to protein ratio. So for like every gram of protein, 1 to 2 grams of carbs. So 30 grams of protein, 30 to 60 grams of carbs in your protein shake to be extremely impactful. All right, that being said, we got about 10 seconds. Let's reset the clock. Last 30 seconds here. And let's work. Now put a foot through the floor. Yeah, we're really focusing on high knees, getting those hips flexion, those hips to flex. Good, notice that height. Quick feet, second they touch and coming off the ground. Or I could do pogos, where you're thinking of like a double under kind of stuff. All right, I guess. 5. And all right, y'all. That is our workout. Start to put everything away. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in, hanging with me. Even if you're catching a bit of this, you can always bookmark, again, save, come back to it. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Probably not going to go live until this weekend. I'm moving the office hours from Sundays to probably, I might even do one tonight, but probably going to be Saturday, Friday or Saturday, depending on the kids, depending on schedule and stuff like that. So just make sure you're following, subscribing, staying tuned, up to date on the schedule, so you can catch the office hours as well. But that being said, peace, y'all. I'll see you guys in the next one.